Here we see the S-series oscilloscope receiving an RF pulse train where individual pulses are experiencing a variety of widths as well as a variety of frequency offsets. The pulsed RF signal is being created by Signal Studio Pulse Builder. That's driving an arbitrary waveform generator to put out IQ wideband modulation coming across through cables into the wideband IQ inputs of a PSG signal generator. The VSA version 19 pulse option allows for a wide range of measurements to be taken on RF pulses captured into oscilloscope segmented memory. From the VSA menu, we can go into pulse properties under time, and here I'm allowed to define what are those oscilloscope segments going to look like in terms of their length of time and how many of them we're going to use in our acquisitions. So I'm really setting up the oscilloscope from the VSA in the way that it captures those RF pulses and puts them into the segmented memory. Once I've set that up, now there's a whole host of measurements. Things like an FFT to show how the pulses are hopping around in frequency. Being able to see in a time view the 8 segments of memory and the pulses captured into each one of those segments, and then looking at how that pulse compares to the expected versus actual, and that's plotted in yellow. And down at the bottom, I'm looking plus or minus 100 megahertz how the expected frequency across the pulse expected compares to the actual measured. And again, I plot in yellow what the difference is between the expected and actual. Then at the bottom, for all of the different pulses in the segments, I'm making measurements of things like what is the size of the pulse and what is its overshoot, what is its rise time and fall time, its width, the pulse repetition interval, so the space between these different signals is as I trigger and fill a segment of memory and then wait for the next pulse and trigger and put it into the next segment, I'm keeping track of that distance between pulses as well as the duty cycle and then these frequency measurements.